welcome to the channel. This is Waga. We are going to continue building our SwiftUI Instagram clone, and what we're going to do today is we're going to work on our comments. If we come to our section here, yeah, this is awesome, has comments. Yeah, so when we click on view comments, if you can go back so that I can show you what we're going to be working on today. If you click on view comments like so, we come to the comment section and we find the previous comments. We have password by password, password said fight, Patrick said I'm here, password said this is a comment and another comment. And what we have here is our comment input where it has our picture, our image, our profile picture. This is the text editor, and this is the button that helps us to send it. And we could say, let's say this works like so, hit send, and it appears in real time. We're using a snapshot listener so that you can listen to the collection, and whenever there are changes in the collection, i.e. there are three types of changes. There's modified, that's for editing, there's delete, and the third one is write or something. Yeah, we'll go through them in a couple of minutes. So basically, when any of these changes happens, we'll see a comment here. However, for now, maybe we'll consider it in later periods. We can only post a comment, we can't delete a comment, but or modify a comment, right? So yeah, so basically that. And another way we could get to the comments, you don't have to just click on view comments. You could also do the same by clicking on the comment button, right? Because of a decision we made to make this navigation links red, we give them an accent color of red, I believe. Everything with the navigation link now gets the color, right? Which is, it's good or bad depending on how you think about it, right? So we could continue. We could click here and we go to the same page. It works the same, and as you can see at the top here we have comment, and when we write something and send it, it clears our text field. So basically that's what we're going to work on. And first things first, we're going to work on the Firebase stuff that helps us send it there, and then afterwards we are going to work on the UI element, right? Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. And what we could do first is make a correction, right? So if we come to this first image post, it says it's corrected, and we hit and we like it, and we go to our backend, we see that the like is recorded at the top of the, this is a map, right? At the top of the map rather than the likes array, right? This one is just here because I was correcting it. So it's normally recorded, like if we do it, let's do it again so that you can see it. Let's do it again, right? So let's minimize this, come here, do this, and you see that this is what has glued, so that's what has been corrected. Let's go back and we see it has changed from true to false, and if we move it here we can see it. So this it should be affecting the like count and the likes in the map, right? Not up here, not at the top level, right? So we need to correct that, right? I made a typo. I forgot to write just one word. So if we come to our postcard service, right? We come to our postcard service, and after the post count, before true, we say, because we want access to the map inside, right? Into the map, we could say like. Is it like or likes? Let me just check with the post model. It's likes, right? So we say likes dot, and then likes dot, and then it gives the user's UID. In this case, password is 6, starts with a 6, right? So we do this, and we do this for every single one, right? We say likes dot. Come here, we say likes dot. So all the posts we have created so far have that issue. Likes dot. We come here, we say likes dot, and we come here and we say likes dot. Now that is the issue. Don't when you copy code, you introduce errors. So we copied code, we introduced errors in all the 6 areas, right? And yeah, and so basically that fixes it, and we can confirm it by coming here, running it again, coming back to our backend, deleting this. Let's delete this, delete it, and wait for it. And now when we get our code, we come here, we check our corrected. When we hit it, we see that the like count has been increased. The like count has no issue, but here we also see that this has been set to true, right? And if we do the opposite, this should be false, right? So this has been set to false, right? So basically that has been corrected. It was coming to the top level here of the map when it shouldn't have. And yeah, so basically we have done that, and now we can start worrying about the main issue of the day, which is which is sorting out our comments. And that's what we're going to do. First, we need to create a model for our comments, right? And for that, we come to the models and we hit Command N, and this is going to be a Swift file, and we are going to call it, we could call it comment model. Let's call it comment model, like so, right? Because you're going to create a file with comment, right, called comment. And if you can look here, we've already created it. Yeah, but we'll create it afresh with you guys. So basically that. So we have a file called comment model, and here we could have a struct, and we could call it comment model, and like so. And we put in our braces, and it's going to have a few protocols that it ascribes to. We could say decodable, like so, and identifiable. So I won't talk about this first two because, as you can see, our user model subscribes or ascribes to them, and also the post model. So we have covered why we're doing this in a previous video, and if you don't know, go to the beginning when we were creating a user model, or when we were creating a post model, and when we were putting the extensions in where is the extension folder? Okay, extensions. Yeah, when we worked on the string date and encodable and decodable. If you go here, you will figure out what we're doing, and we keep using it over and over, especially when we are sending data or getting data back from Firebase. So you should now be comfortable with what those two do. But identifiable requires us to have just one thing. It requires us to have an ID, right? So yeah, identifiable, you see, does not conform to the protocol. Identifiable. So for us to do that, all we need to do is come here and say var ID, like so, ID, and this is going to be UUID, like so, to create a unique identifier, like so. And our problem should go away because we have met the requirement of identifiable. And after that, we have profile, which will be a string. This will just be our image, right? This will just be our image. And we could create the next one, which is post ID, and this is going to be a string, like so. And after that, we're going to have the username. This is self-explanatory, so let's just type them along. And after that, we're going to have a date, and this is going to be a double. And after that, we're going to have the comment itself, and this will be obviously a string. And after that, we will have the owner ID. We could call it owner ID, not owners, like so. And this is going to be a string, basically. So basically that our comment model subscribes to or ascribes to the encodable, decodable, and because of this ID, it ascribes to the identifiable protocol, and we can continue from there. The thing we need to do is come to the services folder and create the comment service, right? And for that, we could come to the services, hit Command N, and this is going to be a Swift file, right? And we can hit yeah, it's going to be a Swift file, not a SwiftUI file. So this is going to be called comment service, like so, right? And it's going to need a bunch of things. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make it an observable object, right? So we could say, because there are a few things we need to look at. We need to look at whether it's loading, and whether the comments array, what's in the comments array, right? So for that, we could say class comment service, and this is going to be an observable object, like so. And we are going to first things first, and I always like starting with this. We need a couple of static variables that that connect to Firebase, right? And so because everything is called, there are lots of things called comments, I'm going to call this one static comments ref, which will be the reference, right? And this is going to be auth service dot store root dot collection, and the collection is going to be called comments, like so, right? Now comments ref. Okay, why is it complaining. Static. It's supposed to be static var. Right now, auth service. If you can go back to our auth service, remember we created it in the auth service. Our store root. It's firestore.firestore, right? So if you don't want to write firestore.firestore, you come here and you say auth service.store root. You could replace the auth service.store root with firestore.firestore, right? But we have done it a couple of times. I'm sure you're comfortable with that right now. Okay. Now, the next thing we could do is look at our backend so that we can figure out how the data has been arranged, right? So let's come to Cloud Firestore. Give it a second. Come on. Come to comment. Okay, fine. Remember, you have to click towards the end. If you click here, you go towards the extension, but if you click towards the end, you get the comments, right? So now, the name of the document, if you can come here and you see it's 2dy. If we pick one, we can see the post ID. The post ID is at the root of the comment. So the comments are arranged according to the post ID. And then after the post ID, we have comments for that specific post. And then here we have the various comments, right? And inside that collection, we have the comment, the date, the ID that we create with our UUID, the owner ID, that is 6dx. This is the owner that created it. Who created it, not that. This is the post ID, right? So we still have the post ID. This is where the image is, the image of the owner, that is the profile image, right? And then this is the username. So this is password. This is, if you can remember, we mostly work with password. It starts with 6dx. Yeah, so that's basically that. That's how our data is going to look at on the back end. So post ID, comments, inside that collection, the document with the various comments, and then each of those comments has information about the comment with the comment date ID, owner ID, post ID, and the image, a link to the image of the owner and the username of the owner, right? Okay, so basically that. The next thing we need to create is we need to have a document reference, right? A function that will get a document reference. And we'll probably be calling it from a bunch of places, so let's just make it a static var. We don't actually, currently we won't call it from anywhere right now, but let's just, for future's sake, right, when we are doing something else, like I said, I'm building up as we go along, so I may change my mind, but most of the changes I plan to make are maybe aesthetic, right? So what we're going to have is going to be a string here, like so, and after this we are going to have a document reference, right? A document. Why isn't it helping us? Oh, we forgot to import Firebase. We need Firebase, right? We need Firebase. So when you put Firebase, it's going to help us. It's going to be document reference, like so, and the document reference is going to refer to where our comments are. So what we're going to do here is just return comments dot document dot, why isn't it document, and here we're going to say post ID, like so. So basically we have our two, cannot find comment, oh, it's called comments ref. Make sure the name is correct, I forgot. Originally I gave it a different name, right? So the first thing we need to do is we need to create two methods, right? And the first one is going to be called post comment, right, for posting the comments. So we could come here and we could say func post comment, like so, and this is going to take a bunch of stuff, right? So it's going to take, let's put this so that it stops complaining. Come here, and the first thing we need to do is comment, and the comment is going to be of type string, like so. Then we're going to have a username, and the username is going to be of type string. And then we're going to have a profile, that is the image, right? The profile is going to be of type string, like so. Then we're going to have an owner ID. The owner ID is going to be of type string, like so. Then we're going to have a post ID. The post ID is going to be of type, you're catching on, a string. The on success is just going to peer into the void, and we could say here it's going to peer into the void, escaping, like so, and this is going to be void, and on error this is going to be escaping, and what we're going to have here is the error is going to be of type string, and it's going to return, well, you guessed it, like so. And now I can go into our comment block proper. So it has a comment, it has a username, it has a profile, it has an own ID, it has a post ID, it has an own success that returns a void, and yeah, so basically that. And the next thing we need to do here is say let comment equals we called it comment model, like so, and it's going to complain, but it's going to help us with the autofill. So we could hit that, not from decoder, you bloody computer. We could say profile, like so. Yes, now we can just type it in. Profile is going to be profile. Post ID is going to be post ID. Username is going to be, you guessed it, date is going to be the date today, right? So for that we just come here and say the date today, right? The comment is going to be and this is supposed to be time interval since 1970, right? The comment is going to be, you guessed it, comment. The owner ID is going to be owner ID, like so. And we can continue from there. We could say here God, and we're going to say let dict. We're going to say try, and we say comment, the comment that we just made, dot as dictionary, else we're just going to return, right? And then here we're going to go into we're going to go to what we just created up here, comments ID, right? For that we could say comments ID. This won't work, but it will help us because it's faster to type out this. It will help us, don't worry. So I could say post ID. Give it a second to realize we made a mistake. It's a static member, so we need to say comment service. So you hit that, the comment service is inserted, and we could come here and say collect, just spell it correctly, collection in question is going to be, we want to put it in the comments collection. You saw the comments after the post ID, the comments, and what we're going to do is just add document, like so, and the data is going to be the dictionary, like so. And we're going to come here and we're going to say in, and we could come here and say if let equals like so, and we're saying on error we're going to have dot localized description, and after that we're just going to return like so. And after this we could just run our on success, like so, right? And so we have our post comment, and yeah, we have our post comment, and we can continue from there. Now we have done post comments. Now we need something that will fetch the comments, right? Okay, so where does this end? It ends here. Okay, so we could come here and we could create a function called, we could say func get comments. This will get all our comments. It will have a listener, so that when the comments change, we get immediate feedback. Like for example, you see when we come here, okay, this one doesn't have comments. Let's get one. Which one has the comments? There's one post which has comments. I think it's this one. I don't know. I was thinking is we could overlay the image with the number of comments or something, but that's a visual thing we could think of doing later. But anyway, let's when we put our comments, you see they are arranged from earliest. The earliest was password, and the latest is this. We could add another one. We could say thanks for the memories. You see the order it comes in, of course, tells us how long it was ago, and there's an order, right? And for that, and it's instant, right? You see, we type and it appears. That's because it has a listener. And so what this is going to have is it's going to have a post ID, the post ID in question, which is going to be of type string, like so. and post ID, and on success we are going to have at escaping, like so, and this will just be an array of that, and after that we will put after that we will put a void. After that we will put a void, like so. Void, you're supposed to put the arrow like this. Void. After that we'll have a void, and on error we are going to we could just borrow this on error, right? Where is this on error? Copy this line of code, copy it, come down here, paste it, and have that on error, like so. And the next thing we need is let's put a comma there. Okay, where is this? There seems to be an extra. Okay, yeah, after on error we now have what happens when we get a new comment. We could say new comment, like so. And what we want here is we want at escaping, like so, and this is going to be that, and we are going to return nothing, like so. And we are going to have our listener. Our listener is going to be escaping, and we're going to put an underscore here and have a listener handler. Listener handle, and this will handle our listener, and here it's going to be of type listener registration. And the code is going to be exactly what you get when you look at when you go to Firebase and you look at the code. This is exactly what you'll get, so it shouldn't be. If you have more questions about it, you can just look at the code. It's pretty straightforward, right? We just have a listener that we can register and deregister to stop listening, right? We will stop listening at it in the, I think in the UI. When we're building the UI, we will turn on and turn off the listener so that it stops listening when we're no longer in the comment section. It stops listening for changes, right? I think it's called deregistering or removing the listener. Either removing the listener. It's called removing the listener. Okay, so what we need here is we need to come to our code block, and the first thing we need is let listener posts, like this. And what we're going to have here is comments ID, like so, and post ID. It's going to complain, and because it's a static member, and we can just hit fix and we get comment service. Okay, fix it for us, come on. Comment service.comment ID, like so. And the collection we want to listen to is the comments, right? We already looked at the backend, and what we want to do is we want to order them by the field we want to order them by is of course the date, right? You see the time is different, so we order them by date, and we could say date, like so. And this is descending, we're going to say false here, right? So that means that the latest is one that is at the very bottom, right? Yeah. So, and after that we're going to add our snapshot listener. Add snapshot listener, like so. And we are going to add snapshot listener, and then we're going to put our code block here. And the code block in question we're going to have here is snap and error, like so. And we could say let's say instead of error we say in, right? And we could come here and we say guard let snapshot equals we could make this snapshot so that it conforms. This is supposed to be snapshot, not snap, right? And we could say snapshot, else we're going to return here, like so. And then after that we are going to have a comment. We could say var comments, and this is going to be an empty array of comment model, like so. And we're going to say snapshot dot document changes, and then we're going to cycle through them. We could say for each, and what we're going to have here is a code block, and we are going to call it diff, which is for the whatever differentiates, whether it is the modification, the removal, or whether it's a new comment, right? This code is exactly the same code that is given in the documentation. So you could call this whatever you want. You could call it diff. I think diff is for difference. So if the difference type, now we use if statements, or you could use what are they called? Switch. We're going to use if statements. If we say if diff dot type is going to be dot added, that means we have added a new document, right? If we have added a new one, we could say let dict, which is dictionary, equals diff dot document. Wait, why is it complaining? Diff dot type. The type is going to be dot added. Okay, diff dot document dot data, like so, right? Documents, it's supposed to be snapshot dot document changes. We're listening to the changes, right? Changes, right? And for each, first we could have diff in. The first one, in the case we have added a comment, you can only add a comment so far, you can't delete. But if we do that, we're going to say guard let decoded, and this is going to be, we have covered this code before, so I could just speed through it. We could say comment model dot init from dictionary, and this is just going to be the dict that we just created up here. Else, you know what else? We're going to return like so. Now the next thing we're going to do is we are just going to say new comment, and we're going to pass in the decoded, like so. And after that we are going to go to our comments, and we're going to append the decoded. We're just going to append it to our array here. We're just going to append it to our array, right? And basically that. So yeah, so after that we need to check for another diff type, but in this case we're going to do nothing, right? That is if modification has occurred, right? So if we modify, we won't be able to modify in the original how we've made it right now, but we might look at that in the, it's already a number of videos. I think we're now like have recorded something like more than 10 hours of recording, just recording, not research or trying it out and things that didn't work out. So it's going to be a bit long for a YouTube series, and we don't want that. So it's not going to have full functionality. So after that we're going to have we can copy this like so, come here, wipe this, put this, and then this is going to be if there's a deletion. Now deletion is something we should look at, and if there's time we'll look at it, right? But it's pretty simple to delete. It's not too difficult, right? And we have worked with deletion with the, I can't remember, what did we delete? Basically, when we like, you just remove a reference, right? So that should not be an issue. Oh, sorry, it's not deletion, it's remove. God, you have to get the terminology exactly correct. So it is a deletion, but here we call it a removal, right? So here it's supposed to be removal. So we could put the code that removes it here. This code will just add to the what's it called? This code will just add to the array here of our comments, and when we listen to it. But for modification and removal, for now we'll have nothing about it. What we need to do is after the removal, I forgot to do this. We need to return the comments after success. On success, we just have our array of comments that we made, right? And then after that, we say listener, and we pass in the listener posts, like so, right? And yeah, so basically that's the get comments done, and we have done post comments. And after get comments, we can create another method. We could come here and we could create the load comments, right? The function that will load the comments. We could say func load. If you're wondering why we don't put this as static functions, it's because we are going to create an instance of the comment service, right? So we can access them without needing a static variable, right? Without needing them to be static. But the others, we might use them elsewhere, right? So depending on how the structure goes. So basically that. For the load comments, we could come here and we say load comments, like so. And first we have these, we could say self.comments, and this is going to be an empty array, like so. And I think it's going to complain. Have we created it? I can't remember us creating it, right? I don't think we actually have. We haven't. We create a variable that we're going to look at, and we could call it a published. So we could say at published, like so, and this is going to be var comments, and this are going to be a type of comment model, like so, and this is going to be an empty array, like so. We could also create the others that we need. We are going to need a post ID, so we could say here post ID, and this is going to be of type string. And after this, we are going to need the listener. We could have a listener, and this is going to be of type listener registration, and we guarantee that it's going to be there. And we want another published, right? We want another published, and we could make this, we guarantee this is going to be there so it stops complaining. And we come here and we say published variable is loading, right? So that we make sure that all the posts are there first before we start rendering stuff. Okay, have we gotten everything? And of course we could have another variable which is going to be a post, and this is going to be post model, like so, and we guarantee that something is going to be there. So we have created all our variables, right? We're going to be looking at is loading and comments, right? And now I can continue with our self.comments. We set it to be an empty array, right? The one that we just created up there. And after that, we also set the self.is loading, and we're going to set this to be true for now. And then we're going to come here and we're going to say self.get comments. And what we could do here is we could get rid of all this. We could come here and say post ID is just going to be the post ID, like so. And on success, we are going to have an array here, and our braces, and we're going to say have a closure here that says comments, and this could be in, like so. And we're going to say if self dot, if this is empty, dot is empty, and we need to assign, so we do that, and we come down here, and the code is going to be self dot comments, and this is going to be comments, like so. And after this, we are going to come here and we say, and we put a comma here, and we have the on error, like so. And we could have another bunch of braces. We could say error, and we say here in, and we can just leave it blank like so, and we can come here and we now handle what we want to handle. It's a new comment, right? The new comment, we're just going to have our braces like so. Our braces are going to be if it's not empty, self.comments dot is empty. If it's not empty, we're going to append it. We are going to append the comment array to the comment, right? So it could say self dot comments, and what we're going to append to the end of it is the comment like so, right? I think we need to put this here. We could say comment in like so, right? And then after this we could come here and we could put our listener. We come here and say listener, and we say in. Oh, sorry, that usually is problematic. You need to press space after the in, and we say self dot listener, and this is going to be our listener like so. Okay, I see the problem. It's saying indices here. It's supposed to be in, right? And why is it complaining about the emptiness? We're not assigning. Yeah, okay. What else? Okay, fine. So this is our code. This is our load comments, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory. If it's empty, you just assign the empty column to the empty comments array to that. And if there's an error, we basically don't do anything. We're optimistic. And if there's a new comment, we have we take the array and we append to it the comment, right? This comment here, and that's what we're going to do. And now I think we still have one more method. We've done the pest, we've done the get, and what we need now is the add comments, the function that will add the comments, right? So we need to come to the end of this. So let's look, where does this end? Okay, this ends here. And the next one is going to be the add comment. So we could say here func add comment like so, and this one is going to take it's just going to take comment of type string. You will see what they do when we're calling them, right? And we're going to say on success, it's going to be at escaping like so, and this is going to return the void. Okay, the void has a capital V. Just make sure you do that. And what we're going to have here is all the things you need to do before you send over the comment. First, we need to make sure that they have we have the current user ID. We have to make sure we have the username, and then we have to have a profile image, right? But these are things that you have to use when you're logging in and you're creating an account. So basically, it's just going to an additional check that everything is there. So the first thing we need to check is current user ID, right? So that we can say for that we just check the auth like so, and we could check that there's a current user, and we can get that their user ID from UID. Else we will just return, right? And after that we could do the same. We could say guard let username, and the username is going to be let's just copy this, come down here. We have a username auth.current user. That the username is going to be the display name, right? So, like so. Else we're going to return, right? Return, just return. Okay, like so. And after that we need the profile, and for the profile image we could just copy this, come down here. Okay, username auth.auth current user photo URL, right? This is supposed to be photo URL, and we need it as absolute absolute string, like so. Okay, absolute string, else we return. Okay, not username. This is supposed to be profile for the image, right? So this is supposed to be profile. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is come down here and have our post comment. We're going to call it, and our comment in question is going to be comment, like so, and our username is going to be username. Our profile is going to be owner ID. Our profile is going to be profile. Yeah, our profile is going to be profile. Our own ID is going to be owner ID. Okay, why is it owner ID, like so? Post comment. Why is it complaining? I thought, did we create post comment? Yes, we did. And own ID. Yeah, it does have an own ID. I don't know. It's not helping me, so I was wondering whether I have balled it up. Okay, this cannot find owner ID in scope. Interesting. I thought we have it here. In the post comment we have an owner ID of type string. Am I spelling it correctly? Okay, let's come here, and profile is going to be of type profile, and this is going to be owner ID. Okay, let's just get it can't have a mind of its own. Okay, owner ID. The post ID is going to be post ID. The on success, we could get rid of the on success here, and we could have some code, and the on success will just have on success, like so. And we could get rid of this, like so, and come here, and we could have our error. And for the error, we could come here and say R in. We're not going to really take care of the error, and yeah, up here, and we called it current user ID. You could type this out, auth.auth.currentuser.uid, right? So basically we could do that, and so that's the add comment method. And we have all of them. We have the post comment, get comment, load comment, and add comment. Okay, I think we have everything, more or less everything. Yeah, basically that. Now I think we have all the methods, and hopefully we cross our fingers and we have no we basically have no errors. Let's hope for that. And we're going to continue this in the next video, where we build the UI that will interface with this. I think this video has already gone on for longer than I expected. And yeah, so basically that. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a comment in the comment section, and don't forget to like the video. I'll see you in the next video.